Hi everyone, it's Karen here and welcome back to my channel. I don't know if you saw my video about all the updates and all the things that I wanted to do this year. And one of the things that I mentioned in that video is that I wanted to do things I should have known before whatever something. This video today is about 10 things I wish I would have known about myself before becoming a creator. I feel as a creator, I've tried so many different things, and I guess when you're creative, you want to experiment with so many different things because you don't really know what's going to be your niche, what you're going to love and what you're not. So you kind of start doing everything. Even when I was a kid, I used to like doodle during classroom and with letters and flowers and butterflies, and I used to doodle all over my pages because I just loved doodling. It would calm me down and it would just makes me feel good. And I would do these really cool art things with my name and things like that. It's a typical teenager things that I think girls do. I thought girls did, although I think some of my friends didn't and always looked over my paper to see what I was doodling about. As I became older, I tried things like sculpting, I tried painting, drawing, but really nothing kind of called my name. I liked it, but I felt a lot of those things were very precise, and that was not something that I could do. I started with doing scrapbooking and I fell in love with that. And that's basically what started my creative journey, I feel, where I started my blog and my YouTube channel and so forth. And that led me into many other things like mixed media, art journaling, card making, and so forth. So the 10 things that I wish I would have known about myself before becoming a creator are something that I think everybody should ponder about, but not obviously about my things, but about your things. So I think it's important to kind of know that even if you're experimenting with many different things, it's okay to eventually find your niche. It might take a long time, but eventually you'll find it. And I feel like I found that when I'm doing mixed media and art journaling, which is the thing that I love the most. So here are the 10 things. Number one, I am not a perfectionist. I am not a perfectionist, and you know what? Thumbs up for that, because I realized that about myself, and I wish I would have known that sooner because I tried too many things that were perfectionist like things. And I'm not putting them down in any way. I just cannot do them. It was I didn't have the patience for it. Things like drawing, like meticulous painting, even like sculpting, like building things. I loved sculpting, but I wasn't perfectionist at it. Like I would watch other people do this, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that looks amazing. But I didn't have the patience to do that. So being impatient and perfectionist, I guess, kind of went together. So I'm putting those two in the same category. So that's why I love mixed media and art journaling, because you don't have to be perfect. Even with scrapbooking, you don't have to be perfect. And that was going to lead me to my second thing. And I wish I would have known this before. And that is that I do not like card making. Don't get shocked about it. I feel like I had to go through the card making process and actually try that in order to know that I didn't like it. And it's not that I don't love cards, don't get me wrong. I love how my cards turned out. I love cards, but making cards for me was very, very stressful. It did not bring me joy. I love making backgrounds for cards, but I did not like assembling the cards, a little die cutting and the fussy cutting and things like that. Obviously, because I'm not a perfectionist and I don't like, and I'm very impatient, as you can see by what I'm saying. So if I could make just backgrounds and then give it to somebody who loves card making and they could make cards for me, I would be very, very happy. So don't get me wrong. I love cards. I just do not like card making. Oh my gosh, I had to get that off my chest because truthfully, I don't think too many people like saying what they don't like for the fact that they might get scrutinized for that. So just wanted to get it out there. I stopped making cards, but why I wish I would have known that is because I spend a lot of money on stamps and dies that right now are sitting in my cupboard. And I still use my dies for certain things, like for art journaling and things like that, and some stamps as well. But most of them, I don't. And I feel ashamed of that because I spend so much money on them. But you know what? It's okay. I lend them sometimes to my friends, and I'm happy with that because they're used. The third thing that I wish I would have known about myself is that I wish I would have known sooner that I like mixed media and art journaling, but I had to kind of come to it in an upside down way, if you say that, because I started with scrapbooking. I didn't even know what art journaling or mixed media. I mean, I don't think it wasn't even around as much. Mixed media, yes, but art journaling only started like 5 years into my scrapbooking career or whatever. So I don't really know if that would have been a thing, but maybe it was from before. I don't know. Don't quote me on when art journaling started or when it became popular. But I wish I would have known it because then I would have just focused on that instead of trying so many different things, instead of going, like I said, to cards and I still love scrapbooking, especially mixed media scrapbooking. This is why I combined the two together. So yes, I wish I would have known that in advance. The four things I wish I would have known about myself is that my mojo is going to go down and things in life are going to happen and that I shouldn't beat myself up for it. And I think a lot of creators beat themselves up for not having ideas, for wanting to take a break, for not wanting to do something, for wanting to just I don't know, read a book, watch TV, and not do anything. And for the longest time, I felt like, how can this be? How can I be a creator and not create anything? How can I not enjoy what I'm doing? I felt like I wasn't enjoying myself. This past year, I really felt like I didn't enjoy anything that I was creating. So that's why I stopped so much. So I wish I would have known to be okay with that. And that's something that I advise everybody, that it's okay not to create. It's okay to take a break. And I wish I would have known that. I mean, I learned the hard way this year, but I wish I would have known that in advance. So I'm giving you that advice. The fifth thing is that I wish I would have known that I would run out of ideas, original ideas. I thought to myself, oh my gosh, I'm never going to run out of ideas. There's always new colors, new products, new everything. But guess what? I was stuck. I couldn't come up with so many different ideas. I felt like everything has been done. And that really was a huge revelation for me, that it's okay not to have an original idea. It's okay to just do whatever you want. And if you're copying, obviously give credit and inspiration to who you inspired you. It's okay to not have an original idea and just do stuff that other people are doing. I mean, there can be so many original ideas. Some of it is going to have to be copied. And I'm okay if you guys copy me, because you know what? It's very hard to become original in everything. So that's how I wish I would have known about myself. I want to talk, I mean, I said it was going to be 10 things, but I didn't want to only talk about the negative things. I also wanted to talk about some of the positive things that I wish I would have known about myself. So the first 5 are kind of the negative, and I started with the negative only because I want to end with the positive. So number 6, which is technically number 1 for positive, is that I wish I would have known how much I love mixed media. And that goes back to the other point. If I would have known that mixed media was going to rock my world the way it did, I would have just started with that. But how can you know that in advance, right? So I wish I would have known that. I wish I would have known, this is number 7, that I was going to have a YouTube channel. I mean, who would have thought that me at my age, I mean, I'm not that old, but I'm not one of those 20-year-olds that is making really cool channels. I'm 45, and I've started a few years ago, so I was 40. It's very rare for somebody in their halfway through their life to start a YouTube channel. Most of the people are a bit younger than me. Not all of them, but a lot of them are much younger than me. And I just wish I would have known that I could do it. I wish I would have known that I can do it, because I would have started it way earlier. I just doubted myself. So I wish I would have known that. The number 8 is, I wish I would have known I would collaborate with so many different people from around the world. Oh my gosh, I've met so many amazing, amazing creators from around the world. And I wish I would have known that was going to happen, because the support that I received from everyone is just overwhelming. And it makes me so happy that even in my down times, I had that support. So I wish I would have known that, because I wish I would have been able to know to rely on them before I actually did. So I'm very happy for that, and I'm very grateful to everyone who supports me and all the friends I've made from around the world. Number 9 is that I wish I would have known that I was going to be on so many amazing design teams. When I started my journey, I thought to myself that I'll never be able to be on any good design team. I thought, oh, my work is crap and I'm never going to be on anything. I am working so hard and like nobody's going to take me, and it brought me a lot of stress and anxiety. If I would have known in advance that I would be where I am today, oh my gosh, I would have not worried about anything. So think about this, about if you can apply this to life. There's so many things I worry in life, not related obviously to this, but to family and to my own health and things like that. But imagine if I would have known, imagine myself in 20 years looking back, or in 10 years looking back. It's the same as what I'm doing now, and I wish I would have known. I mean, you can't look back, but it would have been, I would have loved it to have somebody make a video like this to help me not to worry about it. What I did is I reached out to people way back then and asked them their support. I mean, asked them how they did it. So that's the way that I was able to kind of cope with things. So when I try to apply for design teams, and feel free to message me if you want any advice, I kept on asking the veteran people before me, the ones that were already on design teams. I became friends with them, and I cherished those friendships because they helped me reduce my anxiety about things. And if there would have been a video about that, like what I'm doing today, that would have like been amazing. So I am passing on the torch to you guys. And if you have any questions, either message me privately on Facebook, on Instagram, and which I'm gonna link below all my social media, or you can message me here on YouTube as well. And the 10th one, and what I wish I would have known, and this is a fun one, and it's coming up next week. I wish I would have known in advance that I would be one day be going to Creativation. Way back it was called CHA. The first year that I made it on the Prima design team, I wanted to go to Creativation. By then it was in Vegas, and I couldn't go, and I was so disappointed. I was like, oh, I can't believe I can't go. And I was so excited, and my work was finally going to be displayed in their booth. And then I ended up going in January and loved it. And I've been going since then. It's been, I think, 6 years, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 7. I'm not sure. So I wish I would have known then that eventually anybody can go to Creativation. And yes, I do pay for myself. Nobody pays for my flight, and nobody pays for my entrance fee. And I help out in different booths and stuff like that. But I do it for myself. And yes, I am grateful that I can afford to do it, and I know some people cannot, and I feel that it's hard, especially for people that live on the other side of the pond. And it's the same with me, because I would love to go to Frankfurt to do the creative world, but it's too expensive for me. So you know what? I mean, it goes both ways. But I see so many people that have wanted to go and eventually get to go, and they feel so excited about that. So I'm really happy for them. And that's exactly how I felt. So I wish I would have known. So the advice is that don't give up. You could make it one day and go to Creativation and be on design teams, and just continue working and continue doing what you love and what you do, and don't give up. If I can gather from these 10 points and from these 10 things that I wish I would have known before becoming a creator, one of the things is to have hope, to not give up, and to encourage yourself to always believe in yourself. Thank you so much for joining me today, and have an amazing day. Bye.